Alexander Solzhenitsyn, The Gulag Archipelago. Maria, September 1946. Nazi whores! Murderers! Kill them! The roars of the crowd outside the train were like crazed beasts, insensate, rabid. Fists pounded on the passenger car where the terrified prisoners huddled. American guards laughed at their agitation, mocking and encouraging the horde outside. Several threatened to throw the female overseers to the wolves, as surely as those very overseers had thrown other women into crematory ovens. Some with their own hands, others by their order. The air was thick with fear and sullied by the smell of acrid perspiration. The car swayed slightly as the enraged crowd sought entry, emboldened and strengthened by their hate. Suddenly a contorted face thudded into the window, savage, bestial, and human. A piercing howl accompanied its appearance as it fell back to the ground. One of the prisoners, Maria Mandl, began to hyperventilate and suddenly fumbled her way into the attached toilet cubicle. Quickly, before the guards could intervene, she swallowed a handful of hidden pills. Shivering, heaving, covered with cold sweat and bleeding from the mouth, Maria began to convulse. Now swarmed by guards and the other women, she was forced to vomit up the poison. Huddled on the floor in a fetal position, kicked by the guards in their anger, the world went black as Maria muttered, "God protect me." Part 1. Chapter 1. Hometown. The woman who attempted suicide on an extradition train in 1946 was guilty of many things: mass murder, atrocity, torture, and pitilessness in the face of suffering. She was also a lover of music, children, and family, and founded an orchestra in the unlikeliest of places, the death camp known as Auschwitz-Birkenau. In her youth, Maria Mandl was often described as a nice girl from a good family. Ultimately, like so many of her contemporaries, she was led astray by a thirst for power and visibility, and took full advantage of the new opportunities which arose, even for a woman in the Third Reich. Had Adolf Hitler never created the Nazi state, Maria surely would have lived out her life as a girl from a small town, unremarkable and unknown. Instead, she is now recognized as one of the worst perpetrators of the Holocaust. Maria's story began modestly, when she was born in January 1912 in the beautiful Austrian village of Münzkirchen. Then she was simply a country girl from a good family, and there were few portents that signified she would one day become the most infamous member of her community. Today, Münzkirchen is a bustling regional presence. Founded in the Middle Ages, the town has always been a prosperous place for small business. In many ways, Münzkirchen appears now as it did in Maria's lifetime. The community is surrounded by verdant, rolling hills interspersed with dense, dark green pines which stab the landscape. Beautiful ivory-colored homes with red and brown tile roofs fill the city center, while the agricultural roots of the area are much in evidence. Chickens pecking about, the smell of manure in the air, giant rabbits bounding the surrounding fields, seemingly begging to become the next course of Hasenpfeffer, rabbit stew. Golden fields of corn and wheat shimmer in the sun. Local roads are gorged with farm machinery. True to its Catholic heritage, the community boasts two churches: St. Sebastian's, the small branch church located on the outskirts of town, and a midtown parish church. The cemetery adjacent to St. Sebastian's is in many ways the spiritual center of Münzkirchen. Beautiful, meticulously tended graves tell the story of the village. Near the markers of people who died of plague in the Middle Ages is a general monument to all who were lost in various armed conflicts. Separate stones with discreet iron crosses mark soldiers who fought and died in the Second World War. The names and dates of villagers who were Maria's classmates are easily found. Many of the girls are also named Maria, and prominent surnames.